Welcome to the Performer Radio Show. Each week, we interview some of the most interesting people in the fashion and entertainment industries. Fashion and entertainment industries. Beautiful models, singers, comedians, dancers, fashion designers, actors, beauty queens, and many more. Right here on the Performer Radio Show.
And welcome to another edition of the Performer Radio Show right here on PerformerRadio.com and DirtyWaterNews.com, our incredible partners, Dirty Water News. It's December 4th, Wednesday. Oh my gosh. My name is Mike Zotos, and my co-host to my left is the lovely Miss Amarie Ortiz.
Hey.
That's all she gets to say for the whole entire show.
That's it. That was my one.
December 4th, Amarie. It's winter's almost here. It's
I'm
December.
not ready. How did it already snow? That's terrible.
Well, I'm just telling you right now. I don't like this time of year. The only thing I do like Christmas. New Year's is okay during that, but after that, I've had enough already. I want to get going. I'll tell you something. Next week, we have this guy Mark Miller. He's a designer. He's coming in. He designs furs and what he calls exclusive winter clothing. He loves winter. This guy will just sit all summer long putting up pictures of snow-capped mountains on Facebook. And it's just funny because around this time of year, he's like a kid for Christmas, waiting for the Christmas presents to come. And you'll see his exuberance and enthusiasm next week when he comes on the show, definitely. I think he'll bring a couple of samples, maybe even some samples for you to try on. So,
nice.
Yeah, so if you don't like winter, at least looking good during winter is a priority, I'm assuming, right?
Yes, it is.
Especially for someone like you.
I do love fall clothing. Not so much winter because big jackets just ruin my whole swag with my outfit.
Oh, okay.
But,
do people still use the word swag now?
I don't know.
I hope that's played out because I hate that word.
I don't think so either.
It was way overused a couple of years ago. And
Mike, stop it. You just used YOLO the other day.
Well, that's still hot. See, swag isn't.
No,
YOLO is.
It's not. Who uses YOLO? That's terrible.
No, believe me. I don't mind living only once at this stage. I was like, once is enough. Thank you very much. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was great.
Lots
of eating.
I heard you had to go to 2 places.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a lot of food to digest.
Did you really have 2 full meals? I mean, seriously?
Yes.
That's a lot.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I don't know where you could put it. Seriously.
I took a long nap afterwards.
Oh, okay. Well, I can imagine you'd have to. It's like probably by default with all that turkey and everything else like that. Me, I just went to my sister's, had a lovely time. We have tonight, this is going to be our Boston Music Awards or our music show for this month probably. Not that we don't have musical guests on at other times, but this is all music today. Our first guest is Louie Bello. Louie's been on the show a couple of times, but again, he's nominated for our Boston Music Award, and the Boston Music Awards are going to be this Sunday at the Liberty Hotel. So everyone, please check it out. Louie's going to be there. A whole bunch of great artists are going to be there. You got to support your Boston talent. I mean, these guys or girls too, work hard all year, and this is the time for them to shine a little bit more.
Yeah, go on the website and vote for Louie Bello. He's nominated twice.
Yes,
this year.
yes. I don't know if the voting is still on, but we'll find out. If the voting's still on, go to the BostonMusicAwards.com website and vote. If not, just check it out anyway. See all the great talent that's in this area and support live music, please. Live music is still phenomenal. I know a lot of people go to clubs, EDM, all this other stuff, but those are all still musicians and they do live music usually. And you want to support that because that's where they make most of their money. We'll talk about that later too. After that, we get some great guys I'm dying to meet. 2 members of Crash Midnight, a rock group, and they recorded an anthem for Boston. And the Patriots and the Bruins, I believe, picked it up. And they play this song, I guess maybe during the games. I'll find out more about that. And one of the members is going to be singing the national anthem at Gillette Stadium for the Patriots game this Sunday, which is totally awesome.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, more than pretty cool. I mean, that's just, like I said, totally cool. For me, a sports fan. And by the way, I want to give kudos to Nadine and Nicole from the Sports Queen show right before this. They did an amazing job, had a fun time with that, and want to make sure that everyone keeps listening to that show as well as this show, of course. And we welcome the people from the Sports Queen, I was going to say the Sports Queen show to our show as well to check this one out. That's going to be every Wednesday preceding ours. Theirs is at 8, ours is at 9, and that's both Eastern and Pacific. Also coming up, well, actually, that is pretty much it. What's coming up next week? We get some great get some great people coming in too. We talk once in a while about New England studios out in Devons, and this group of people decided to form this Facebook group, but it was gone way beyond that, called Hollywood East Actors Group. They're coming in next week, so we got to definitely plug them. And Mark Miller, that we said was going to be here, and we got another special guest. I'm not going to let the surprise. Will be a surprise next week.
You'll have to tune in to find out.
Yeah, you got to have to tune in for that, most definitely. What else is going on? Oh yeah, next week. Also next week, we're going to be at the Royale. Speaking of the Patriots, another tie-in, I suppose. We're going to be at the Royale, where there's going to be a special event, which is something to do with Microsoft Xbox.
It is their gaming.
It's their game. It's like a gaming competition.
No, but it's awesome because
it's for charity though.
They've been having these all over kind of the
area.
Yeah. And all the winners of the gaming one, because they're affiliated with Xbox, they get to compete with Gronkowski and with
Gronkowski.
Yeah, Gronkowski. Sorry.
I'd like to see you say that in front of him next week.
I'm gonna mess it up.
I hope not. Keep practicing that the whole entire week so you don't mess that up when you have to interview him. And
so they get to compete against them and see if they win. That's
awesome. Gonna be pretty cool. Yeah, like I said, that is for a charitable cause, and not only Rob Gronkowski but backup quarterback Ryan Mallett. So we'll be right back after the break with Louie Bello.
It's Thursday night and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes two. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese.
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hey America, we need to have a little talk. We've got more food in our country than we know what to do with. Food at the grocery store and food in the vending machines, fast food, health food, and seafood. We've got so much food that anything people don't buy, we just throw out. Yet 17 million kids in America struggle with hunger. That ain't right. Luckily, the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks has volunteers gathering excess food and getting it to hungry kids. They're kind of like food angels. Yeah, I made that up. It's kind of catchy. Hello, people. This isn't rocket science. We could solve hunger today. To start, become a food angel yourself by supporting Feeding America in your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. We can't do it without your help.
To help solve hunger in Massachusetts and New Hampshire and to find your local food bank, visit feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Interviewing the best talent Boston has to offer. This is the Performer Radio Show.
And we're back from the break, and we have Mr. Louie Bello here. Louie, welcome back.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Welcome. Do you love our new digs that we have going on right now?
I love this place.
Yes, actually, awesome. You were here. This is down Elton where we record the show. And you were here for an interview for Dirty Water News just a few months ago, right?
Yeah.
We actually recorded it right over there. That's pretty cool. And that was aired, what? I think it was like a couple months ago, right?
Yeah, a couple months ago, yeah.
That was with Wendy Pollack, yeah.
I always appreciate when people...
The last time you were on our show, I think it was in January? Something like that? Yeah, it was January. That was still cold. Okay, cold.
We were plugging
every time Louie's around, it's cold outside. What's up with that?
Well, I bring the heat when I get in the building.
Oh, there he goes. Oh, good stuff. That's good. That's
good.
I
hot
like
in here right now.
Well, that's Amarie.
I know. I'm just trying to take something out of
Yeah, well, you can't take credit for that. Definitely not. God takes credit for that. What have you been doing since January?
How many hours do we have?
Yeah, well, that's exactly right, huh? You're on the go constantly. You just got back from...
Yep.
Well, no, you got back from L.A. about a couple weeks ago. You went there for the Hollywood... What was that again?
Yeah, about a week and a half ago. Hollywood Music and Media Award. I was nominated. I was up against people from Italy, Spain, L.A., New York. It was actually a worldwide nomination in pop category for Shotgun. which is cool because Shotgun's
Yes, the video.
nominated for the Boston Music Awards
Yes,
too.
right.
So
Awesome.
So obviously, Shotgun has a connection to us too, but
absolutely.
because Jessica, who used to be the co-host here. How does this work? The Hollywood Music and Media Awards. You're talking about people from all over the world. It's not a local event.
No, it's an international event, and it was really nice too. It was held at the Henry Fonda Theater out in Hollywood,
Nice.
right next to the W Hotel, and they do it up nice. They really do. It's the whole presentation.
Yeah, I saw the pictures on
They had
Facebook.
acts performing, like 4 or 5 acts, and held the light shows and everything, like Vegas acts almost. So it was definitely put on right. But I gotta say, for all the Boston Music Awards that I've been to over the last couple of years, we do it pretty well here too. I was excited, but I was also
Boston and music has been. Music has been a big part of the Boston
Absolutely.
scene, and that's great. Hollywood, whatnot. Quick question here: how did you get nominated for that out of that pool? Basically, the whole world. Was there somebody that kind of suggested, or
it was
'cause
funny.
that's not really. I know you play there a lot.
Yeah.
But did somebody in Hollywood see you and say, "Hey, this guy's got to be in"? Or?
It's actually funny because there's a radio show in the UK. It's called Deuce Radio, and they've been playing my stuff. They have a lot of affiliates over Europe and some in the United States, but they're based out of the UK. They've been playing my stuff for the last couple of years in the different radio shows, and they were the ones who actually emailed me one day last year and said, "Hey, congratulations, you're nominated for this Hollywood Music and Media Award." So I don't know if it was something that they submitted to them, but whatever way it happened, they got my music and they loved Shotgun, and
That's
because
pretty
it's
cool.
a great song.
So,
thank you.
When you said
appreciate it.
they were playing the audio track or the video track?
No, this was just for the song itself, the audio.
The audio.
Yeah,
track,
it wasn't
okay.
for the video. So
Okay, so that was just for the video, but here in Boston,
Here in
you're
Boston's for the-
nominated for the video for the audio. Gotcha. Okay,
Absolutely.
that was a little. I was gonna say, so Hollywood by way of UK. That's pretty cool.
it is.
That's definitely universal and global right there, no doubt about that. And yeah, the pictures looked amazing. You look good, and I know you brought your posse with you. Your entourage.
Oh yeah. Well, so
You can give a shout out to those
yeah,
guys. Those
we
are
got
great
Steve
guys.
Batrus, Nick Paps. Those are my boys.
They're your shadows, aren't they? Every
They-
time you go to LA, they seem to be right there with you.
They do. We have a fun time. It's like
It looks like that.
I try to bring the best crew out there to have a
you go
blast.
to
you
go to LA.
have to.
Yeah.
That's like part of it.
You go to LA what? 3 or 4 times a year, at least, maybe more.
I go probably every 5 weeks. I'm out there for a
Every
week.
5 weeks.
Yeah, every 5 weeks. I'm
Every
out there.
time I'm telling you, every time I see a tweet from him, he's in LA.
Yeah.
I
gotta,
always follow up this guy.
the only way to be successful in, I think, any business is to network. If your business is local or regional, you gotta network regional. If your business is national, which mine is, and what I'm trying to aspire to be, I have to, go out there, and that's where all the work is.
I'm
And
trying to get a spot in that posse. Are you taking
Anytime you
applications?
want.
Are you taking applications?
I think I'll pass it through. You can.
Yeah, who
I
would
got
you
a
rather
plane
have,
ticket for
Nick
you.
or Amarie?
Yeah, sorry, Nick and Steve. I think I'm taking Amarie next time.
Yeah, that's not hard to figure that one out, is there? No, Nick and your crew is really great.
Yeah,
I mean, they're very
they're an
loyal
awesome
people.
video production company too.
Yeah.
Just to give them a shout, they did
That's
my
fine.
Long Way Home video, and they just do amazing video production. So
Which also starred our very good friend Anja Thomas.
Absolutely.
As well, who is doing good things on her own. We'll have Anja back at some point too. So here you are. You're nominated again for 2 Boston Music Awards.
yes, blessed.
And how many years now have you been nominated?
I'm gonna say the last 4 to 5 years I've been
4 to
nominated.
5 years. And I hate to say this, and how many times have you won?
I have not won yet,
Which
but
is a
I can
travesty.
admit that. It's
I
okay.
gotta tell you, yeah, well, no, it's not okay. It really isn't. This guy is phenomenal. He works harder.
But I mean, they do acknowledge it in the sense for it to
No,
be
they do.
nominated.
It
They do,
is. It's
but
fun to be nominated.
He deserves one now. He definitely deserves one. I mean, I hope everyone, if the voting hasn't closed, I hope everyone goes there and votes for him right now because, he does work extremely hard. His whole family
Yeah.
is Louie Bello is his sister.
Oh my!
and
And I saw it in action with my own eyes. I know. I went to the baby shower and I saw
Oh,
all
yeah.
the Bellos together.
Mm-hmm.
The mom, the dad, like everybody was performing. Like your dad is so talented.
Yeah.
Isn't he good? Yeah.
His dad gets up on his show.
They were all like, somebody was playing. You were playing like you guys were playing
Playing
like
the drums and-
instruments,
yeah,
and then
it
we were
was-
singing. It was like literally like dynamic. It was so good.
That's
I
what
could see
parties
where
are
you
like
guys
with
get
a
it from.
family. Yeah, exactly.
That is so good.
That's a pretty cool family to be a part
It
of,
was
huh?
so awesome.
No doubt.
We were
Yeah.
little. My father used to set the camera up. Back then, it was the big camera with the VHS tape. He used to set it up and play the guitar, and he'd make us go in front of it and sing songs and do whatever. And we couldn't leave the room until we did one song.
It was definitely the coolest baby shower I've gone in.
That's pretty
ever,
cool.
probably.
Even
Yeah,
better
it
than
was
the one
very
you put
cool.
on.
Well, it was different. It
I know,
was
it's
cool.
different. Yeah.
It wasn't like your normal
It was
baby
like for
shower.
kids.
It was cool.
It was-
Yeah.
My sister's crazy.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, just
but
a tad.
yeah, but Lisa, Lisa just became a mom.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Okay,
little Cash,
so now
little
and she's
nephew.
so teacher, mom, and musician, and she's juggling it all right now.
And she
right?
does it.
Isn't that amazing? When does that woman sleep?
It's I never.
Yeah, well, I mean, you too. You're a teacher as well.
Oh yeah.
You,
Yep.
and you're doing all this stuff and running around, and you're a father too.
It's you know what it is. It's if you want something, you do it, and you don't have excuses. You know, people that become successful, they don't speak of all the things they got going on. They just speak of the things that they're going for. And I feel like that's when you become successful, because a lot of times you talk about all the juggling you do. I mean, other people see it and you talk about it, but when you as an artist talk about it, I feel it takes away from your focus. You know, that just becomes part of your life. You know, have to do this, and this, and within 8 hours in a day and get it all done. You just got to get it done, and
Everyone gets the same 24 hours.
that's what it is. Yeah,
Mhm.
And nobody gets a break. You got to make your own breaks.
That's
you know,
true.
so
Absolutely true. Yeah, it's hard work, and you have to be dedicated.
You got to enjoy it too. I mean, if you're
Yeah,
doing it,
that's
and you're
all.
not
Absolutely.
enjoying it, then
Absolutely. I
you
mean,
know.
yes, because then it's just a chore.
Exactly. I
It's-
love it. I love every.
That's good.
You know.
That's
every
it.
part
Well,
of
I
it.
mean, glad you are a teacher of music as well.
I am. I direct the music
Which
at
is-
Boston Public Schools.
There you go. And that's
Oh,
that's
that's
good to have a guy like this who is passionate about music to teach the newer generation coming up, because arts in the schools are lacking now. It's
They are.
hard. It's very hard. I mean,
The new superintendent coming in, we don't know who it's going to be, and the last superintendent was
New
very
sup- yeah.
arts based, and this one, you
new
don't know.
superintendent, new mayor too.
New mayor, yeah,
Everything,
I don't know how
everything's
Marty's,
changing.
You know,
Everything's changing. I mean, you hope for the best, but it's all about money and whatnot, and they have to make some tough decisions sometimes,
Absolutely.
unfortunately. But yeah, either
so
way,
support music, you guys. out there.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
Support live music.
Unfortunately, I wasn't lucky enough to have any music programs in my high school. So
None at all.
Oh, really?
Nothing.
See, that's sad.
No. Well, I went to private Catholic school.
Well,
you know
she
how
did
they
end
are.
up in a girl
Yeah.
band, and all girl.
I know. I somehow
eventually.
still ended up in music.
She still ended
but,
up in music, at least for a few years.
I didn't have the luxury to be able to have that as an option in my high school. I
That
would
is
have
pretty
loved
sad
to.
when you think about it, isn't it? I mean, when I grew up, it was everywhere.
When I
You
grew
know?
up, I went to Catholic school when I was younger, and we had a music teacher.
Yeah.
It wasn't really, didn't feel him too much. He was kind of old school, but at
But
least we had the
still,
music
you had
teacher.
the
Yeah.
option, yeah.
We had even more than that. We had jazz bands, all kinds of stuff. Choirs, if you want to call it choirs. Now it's
There's still
Glee
some
Club.
schools in Boston, like the public schools, that have like the Orenberger and like Latin Academy. There's still some big music programs, but they're kind of spread out. And a lot of the smaller schools, the funding, it's hard. And we're working with Music Drives Us.
Right.
They've donated pianos to my school, and we're still working with them to get more instruments. So thank God there's some people like that. But there's so much need that we need more people like that to just keep,
Interestingly enough, Music Drive is one of the sponsors of the Boston Music Awards this
Yes,
year too. That's Ernie
absolutely.
Bach Jr., who you have a relationship with. As a matter of fact, Shotgun was shot in his hangar.
In his hangar.
Right, with
Yes.
that right there in his hangar in Norwood, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
We rolled the plane out, brought in the old hot rod, and
Yeah, you got to check that video out. As a matter of fact, speaking of which, I think we're going to play that video in a little while.
oh, awesome.
Yeah, so we're going to play that video in a while. So what's next for you?
Next, well, we are gonna go back out on tour. I did a little spot day tour, the end of the summer, September, October. We're in LA, Miami, Philly, Rhode Island, and Boston. So we just kind of jumped around. Went to San Diego too. So in January, we're gonna head back out to LA to start off like that whole section, the West Coast again, and gonna be plugging away, pushing the videos, and gaining those fans. And I think the only way now to gain those fans in my type of music is to be in front of them. And the internet is definitely something that we're always trying to crack and gain more exposure, but it's nothing like sitting in front of somebody singing a song and looking them eye to eye and seeing if they like it or not and kind of engaging them. And I think I get most of my fans that way.
You make real fans that way.
You do.
The online fans are very fickle. They like you one day and then don't the other day. So.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what. Let's check out that video right now. This is Shotgun. It was recorded last year around this time, and
Yes.
I guess it debuted in the springtime.
The springtime.
Springtime, right? And it was the first single off your current album.
Called
correct?
The Long Way Home. Yes.
A Long Way Home. Okay, we're gonna check out Shotgun right now.
The internet's #1 destination for new music. Performer Radio is in the house.
Performer Radio is in the house.
shadows of where you used to sit. Back when you were my girl. The ride just ain't the same, no. You used to sing like an angel. We used to party rock, making beats with the door locks. I wish we could forget about tomorrow. Don't think about it yesterday. I only need a minute, just 1 minute to say, whoa. I don't need money or the finer things. All I need is you right next to me. Ride shotgun with me, baby. Shotgun with me, girl. We can lean way back, let the radio play. Just need you right next to me. Ride shotgun with me, baby. Shotgun with me, girl. Come on. We used to rock the top 40 countdown and use the dashboard for drum sounds. You chased all my clouds away. Back when you were my girl. But now the volume's been turned down. We drive around town with no sounds. So what do you say? One more ride for the good old days. Forget about tomorrow. Don't think about it yesterday. I only need a minute, just 1 minute to say, whoa. I don't need money or the finer things. All I need is you right next to me. Ride shotgun with me, baby. Shotgun with me, girl. We can lean way back, let the radio play. Just need you right next to me. Ride shotgun with me, baby. Shotgun with me, girl. Come on. Remember when the music took us way back, from Motown to that new jack? Yeah, we sang every word to the song. And even though we had no particular place to go, every time we rolled on through, everybody there was singing along. Shotgun with me, baby. We can lean way back, let the radio play. Just need you right next to me. Riding shotgun, girl. Oh, baby, yeah.
The best internet destination on the planet for new music. New music. Performer Radio is in the mix.
Wow. I forgot how good that video was.
It's a great video.
Not only that, it looks really warm in that video.
It was fun.
It's a summertime kind of vibe to it, but I know, and you know, how cold it was that day.
Oh, the day we shot the car scene.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh my God, it was so cold that day.
I felt bad for Jess.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, especially because she had to wear those short shorts and everything else like that.
Yeah.
We had her with a blanket. And
You
whatnot.
can't even tell. She did a great job.
No,
Yeah,
and we got to give a shout out to Ken Schmidt, who
Ken
directed
Schmidt
that
did an
video.
awesome job.
He did an amazing video, and Ken's been getting a lot of good accolades lately too.
Yes,
He
absolutely.
won a Boston Fashion Award for video. And,
Did he really?
Yeah, he did.
That's
and
great.
now he's got nominated for this one too.
Yeah.
So
It
definitely.
was funny because I just told him about a week and a half ago. He was so busy, just got back to me, and he's like, "Wow, dude, we're really nominated. I just found out last night." And I was like,
I hope he wins. I
Yeah.
hope you both win. I definitely hope you win. Definitely.
It'll be fun.
And like I said, this is going to be this Sunday at the Liberty Hotel.
The Liberty Hotel.
And I want everyone to come out and check this out. And the Liberty Hotel is cool for this venue, for this event, because it's like a three-ring circus. There's something going on everywhere.
And there's different rooms.
Different
and you
rooms,
just-
yeah, exactly. It's so very cool. It's a very cool.
Well, they finally
concept.
opened up the back stairs because the last couple of years it was kind of crazy because you couldn't, if there was events going on, you couldn't get up the stairs because it got
really?
blocked up. So
I
now
didn't know
they open up the back stairs and now you can kind of move freely. It's a lot nicer.
Hey, you got to come back to us and have a marine interview for the interview.
Absolutely. Yes.
I'll get it
On
out.
Sunday.
Interview you for Performer TV and
I'll
for
find
Dirty
you
Water
guys.
News TV. Definitely. So, music awards. I'm assuming you're going to take a little bit of a break. You got a break for from school too. Are you going to be working all that week, or you're just going to be a family man for a bit?
I mean,
with
I'm always
the
a
daughter?
family guy in between. It's
Yeah.
just, budget. I have to budget my time between everybody. So that gets kind of hard sometimes. But now I'll take a little break, but I'm actually finishing up shooting my last 2 Christmas videos. So this
that's right.
week,
You got some Christmas music
actually
coming
this
out,
week,
right?
I think Friday. This
Okay.
Friday or Saturday, I'm hoping to release the first Christmas video. I
Cool.
did a version of Silent Night, And then I'm going to be releasing the second one, I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas, the week afterwards, leading up to Christmas. So I'm kind of excited about that.
Can we get a little preview?
Well, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear the sleigh bells in the snow.
I'm cold already just listening to it.
See that voice? There's like
excellent.
no girl that would not fall for that. Like,
we actually redid the old, I don't know if you listened, the Drifters from back in the day. So the Drifters did a version in the 50s, and it was in Home Alone. That's the version that I kind of like took that version and made a little bit mine and kept a little bit of their elements in it. But if you remember the Home Alone scene where he's putting the shaving cream, the aftershave on his face and he screams, the song that's playing underneath that is the Drifters version of I Dream of a White Christmas.
Awesome.
So,
Do you find girls always asking you to sing for them? Because I feel like I would, if we were dating, I'd be like, babe, do you want to sing for me right now?
Yes, after a while, but then I think after a while they get sick of it.
No way, that voice. I don't believe it.
Well, I appreciate it.
So, I mentioned the fact that you had a daughter. How old's your daughter now?
She's 10.
10.
Just turned 10.
She's so pretty.
Yeah. I mean, what does she think about her dad doing what he does?
She could care less about what I do, which is really funny. And that's kind of a good thing. She's into her cheerleading. She does all her stuff at school, but she doesn't really want to sing in front of me. So I think she likes what I do, but she does not want to admit it, which is fun. I mean, I could see her she's always razzing me and, oh, Dad, nice video, nice pictures you're posing for. And
yeah, I was just going to ask. I'm like, can she sing? Is she?
She can actually. She has a little bit of a voice, but I hear her in the shower. I hear her like in her room, but she will not sing in front of me.
Really?
Yeah,
oh,
so it's kind of.
She must be scared.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but right now she has no desire. But I didn't start until I was like 15.
Oh, really?
I was kind of like her. I used to be the one that would push people off the back of the risers in Catholic school and like make sure like somebody made an off note, and that was me. So like growing up, that was me. And then all of a sudden it was like, yeah, I want to try this, and just stuck with it.
So in other words, you're kind of doing the same thing with her that your father did with you. It's
yeah,
he let you grow into it by yourself.
Absolutely. He played. I mean, we grew up with records. He played us records, listened to every type of music. I loved listening to music. I just never had a desire to perform or write. And then all of a sudden it was like, boom. All right, I like this.
That's funny because usually every artist that I know, they have a story when they were little, and in the first they started, writing, singing songs when they were little and performing.
But see, I don't believe a lot of that.
And stuff like, you think
I'll be straight honest with you. I've been around so many artists, right? And so many artists BS because they build this whole story. They think it has to come from birth. And I know a lot of artists that BS that.
You know what?
Even good artists.
I'd believe it because everyone has this story when they were 4 and they were putting on a drum beat and they're singing and dancing for their parents.
Everybody beat the drum when they were little on the kitchen sink. If you didn't, you were weird. You know what I mean? But I think the true, it's when you truly start to have the passion to work as a business to your craft. I think that's when I relate when I started music. Like, okay, I think I can make money at this and actually enjoy doing something and creating something for somebody. And I think, I don't know, there's some phenomenal young artists that probably realize that at a young age. But I think you experiment when you're young. You know what I mean? I don't think that's, I don't know. So, not saying everybody's lying, but I'm saying there's a lot of stories, war stories out there.
Let me ask this. Okay, you've done collaborations with your sister.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
Yes.
Who out there right now, male or female, would you love to collaborate with?
I would love to collaborate. I'm trying to think of her name now. She sings Clarity.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
God, I can't think of the
name.
One,
with Zed.
But I love Zed. Yeah, I love the girl who sings on the Zed one. She's got amazing vocals. And then, of course, I love Bruno Mars. So good. just to go and write a song with him and collaborate with him, I think that'd be
my
awesome.
dream is Bruno Mars to sing at my wedding. But after I heard you say that cover, if I can't get Bruno Mars, you might have to do it mine.
I guess I'll be second.
You're
That's
the
cool.
substitute.
I'm good.
Or as Nadine likes to know, the replacement.
The replacement, yeah. I can be the replacement. I'm easy.
Louie, while we have a chance, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you online, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, louiebello.com. That has pretty much all my links. Facebook is Louie Bello Music and Louie Bello. Twitter is Louie Bello. And those are pretty much my Instagram's Louie Bello.
He keeps it simple.
Yeah,
simple.
That's
simple. That's your brand.
I keep it the same. It's my name. That's what I tell everybody. Everyone has all these different names. XXO this.
I don't know how you guys keep track of everybody on Instagram, Twitter, and everything else
it's hard.
that.
It's hard.
Really hard.
Yeah. In addition to everything else you have to do, it's amazing that you have.
It becomes part of your life. That's why you have to kind of decompress sometimes and I shut off for like a day or two and just put the phone down. At least for a day.
Do you feel that interferes with your creative process too?
No, I think it becomes part of your creative process. I think it just you become used to having to take a snapshot every once in a while because I feel like when you're creating, to me anyways, I'm creating something that I want people to enjoy but also purchase down the line, because my creations, I want to build a brand that I can survive and get a house for my daughter and my family and off of music, so I have to keep it all relevant. So I think it helps a little bit with the creativity because now you're getting creative with the little snapshot videos you're doing and
true.
You're trying new
we know
things.
What that's all like sitting next to this one right here. Louie, thank you very much for coming down again, and can't wait to have you back on again, and good luck this Sunday at the Music Awards.
Thank you, appreciate it.
We'll be right back with Crash Midnight.
Bye-bye.
This is Nnamdi Asamoah. I play football for the Philadelphia Eagles, but what I do off the field with United Way might be more important. I'm a volunteer tutor and mentor. Why? Because over 1 million kids a year drop out of school, and that's not okay. It takes 12 years to create a graduate, but it takes about the same time to create a dropout. And the difference between a child becoming one or the other could be me, or it could be you. Studies show that if we get to these kids earlier, their chances are better. And kids who read well by 3rd grade are more likely to graduate. So join me in United Way. Suit up and take the pledge. Become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor. Because when a child succeeds, we all succeed. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Take the pledge at unitedway.org. Brought to you by United Way, the Ad Council, and the National Football League.
In the wake of a disaster, what one thing can you send that will help people the most? A blanket, a tent, a sandbag, a doctor. Actually, if you send a monetary donation, you send all these things. Even a small donation can make a big impact and can quickly become exactly what people affected by disaster need most.
Want to help those affected by Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines? To donate, visit philippinesrelief.adcouncil.org. That's philippinesrelief.adcouncil.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Ranger Station, Ranger speaking.
Yeah, hi. I'd like to report a bear sighting.
Location?
In the forest, near the side of the road.
No need for alarm, sir. The forest is where bears live.
But this was no ordinary bear.
No ordinary bear?
Yeah, 1 second I'm having a smoke taken in the view. Next thing I know, I am face to face with Smokey Bear.
Let me guess, Smokey had a tip for you.
He did. He must have seen me toss my cigarette on the ground. He told me never to do that because it only takes 1 spark to start a wildfire.
He's a smart bear. Did you know that 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans? That means 9 out of 10 wildfires can be prevented.
That's what Smokey said. I had no idea.
That's why Smokey's famous, and you're not.
Good point.
If you see someone in danger of starting a wildfire, step in and make a difference, because 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans. Brought to you by Smokey Bear, the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council. Learn more at smokeybear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Models, singers, comedians, dancers, and so much more. This is the Performer Radio Show.
And we're back. And we have the very talented Crash Midnight, who are also good friends of mine. Hi, boys.
Hey, girl.
Welcome.
Welcome to PerformerRadio.com.
Well, technically, we only have 2 out of the 5 members.
That's right.
We're shorthanded tonight.
Shorthanded?
She's on the power play.
Well, let's introduce them. Sean?
This is Sean Soho.
I'm Boo.
Just
that's all you get.
That's all you get. Just the one
number. That's
just
it.
like Madonna, huh?
It's
just like
awesome.
Madonna. Now, you guys recently recorded a pretty amazing song about Boston. Why don't you tell us about that?
There's actually a kind of cool backstory about this song. This was one of the very first songs we ever wrote as a band, right when we were forming the band, and it was called Nothing to Lose when we first started. It had like a very trite title to it, and it actually wasn't going to make the album. And then we were kind of beating around the bush about a couple things. There was one song that wasn't really sounding that great on the album, and we ended up coming back, and Nothing Lose was based on the city of Boston, the whole like, now this is PG-13, and I was doing my research, and I think one non-sexual related is okay.
And you ruined it.
And I ruined it. But it was about that attitude of Boston to everyone out there, you know, and it was just, you know, everybody kind of bands together here. And if you're from Boston, you know that attitude, you know, and anybody you meet outside of Boston that's from this city, you have this instant bond just from being from this city. And that was kind of what the song was about. And we decided to stop beating around the bush. And we just decided, hey, you know, we're going to call the song Welcome to Boston. And we wrote this chorus for it, and it was awesome. And the way that it came together so organically like that, we were like, this has to make the album. And after it made the album, everything happened in the spring with bombings. And I think there was just this great like outpouring from everybody that everyone in the city really wanted to find a way to help. And anything you could do to contribute was huge. And we found, we went to our label and we're just like, is there anything we could do for this? And this song was starting to get played by the Bruins DJ during the playoff run and everything. And we're like, can we do something? And they allowed us to give away all the proceeds from iTunes downloads to the One Fund, which is something we're so proud of and we're so happy about. We just want to get out to the world and get as much as we possibly can for this. And when they allowed us to do that, it skyrocketed from there. And all of a sudden, a lot of other Boston sports teams started picking it up, like the Patriots, and Boston College football did as well.
Or like the men's basketball program?
And the men's basketball program at Boston College as well.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, very recent. And it's just been really cool because this song isn't, I feel like it's not a somber song. There was a lot of stuff that came out of 9/11 that was very like, you know, somber stuff, and that's fantastic. But I think this song really embodies this city, and this city is a lot of fighters, you know?
Yeah.
More you can't mess with us.
Yeah, and that's really what this song is about. This is about, you know, street fights and, you know, this is our home.
Boston strong.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, it's actually really funny because I was talking to Sean a while when you had first thought of the idea. It wasn't even what it is now. You just kind of told me where you want it to be. And it's amazing to see now, talking to you, everything they picked it up. Bruins picked it up, Patriots picked it up, like how big it became. And I remember when it was just an idea. It's pretty cool.
When the bombings happened, how long after the bombings happened did you just like automatically say, wait a minute, we've got a song that just resonates?
Well, I think we were talking with our label at the end of the week, but we were like everybody else. I remember we were all sitting in our apartment, glued to the television, watching them chase down that guy.
Right.
And, you know, and I think that's something that everybody identifies with where you were with that. That's, you know, Boston's JFK moment or whatever, to talk about something that's fairly recent here. It's just, everyone felt this sense of community that we all went through this. And I think it was within a week that we called our label and we were just like, hey, listen, you know, what do you think about this? And to our label's credit, at Broxbridge Entertainment and the label head Chris Brown, he was just like, he's a Boston guy too.
One of the things I find funny about the entire conversation was there wasn't one.
Yeah.
It was very just understood, where everyone was on the same page, and there's times where you pick up the phone and you're about to have a conversation, and it could be a long, convoluted, you know, debate. And I feel like every time I pick up the phone in like 14 hours, 15 hours, whatever, and everyone just knew what we were talking about right away, and it just worked so fluidly and so organically and so like immediately.
So there was a certain synergy and everybody was like in sync.
I think there's just when something like this happened in this city, there was no conversation. It was absolutely, done deal. And within, I don't know, a couple hours after that, they had rerouted the stuff from the iTunes downloads to go directly into this escrow account for them to just shoot out to the One Fund. And it's awesome. I mean, that's something that's, as a band, you promote yourself a lot.
Right,
you go out and do this. This is the one thing I think that I am the most proud of promoting.
Well, it's a selfless act.
Because it's just, you know, you feel so good about it.
Right.
You know.
Quick question now. You dealt with the One Fund, and I'm sure at that time they were inundated with requests.
Yeah.
I can imagine like everybody wanted to help. How long a period of time before everything was in place for them, or did it take a very long time?
I think it was pretty much a turnkey. They said it was a very easy thing. They shot us back a quick email. They're like, "That's awesome, thank you so much." And you direct the checks here, and I don't know if they're doing it every month or every pay period. I forget how iTunes pays out.
Now, is there every time it's played at a game, a Patriots, Bruins, or whatever, do they pay some kind of royalty for that towards the one fund? Or do you know?
There's all kinds of stuff. We're affiliated with ASCAP. Our lead guitarist is a BMI guy, so that stuff comes from one side. The stuff that's coming out of the iTunes downloads is a completely different thing, and it's so tough. I mean, I feel like when people figure out royalties in the music industry, I swear there's a wizard in like the back room. It's just like,
really
it was played this many times, and you've been on this many tours, and therefore, here's your money. So rather than trying to calculate that, we're like, okay, we can definitely define iTunes downloads.
Right, exactly.
iTunes downloads easy. Go to the one fund.
That's pretty cool. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I would hope that the people from ASCAP would recognize every time that's being spun that's where it's going. Hello, ASCAP. And so figure that out. And
it's a very complex system, that's for sure. And people don't know there's playing rights, performing rights, all kinds of stuff going on in this business. And you guys play out. You're a band, okay? 5 members. How often do you play out in the area?
Yeah, we do play out. You wouldn't know it by the last year, but we actually do play out.
Oh, I don't even remember last time I actually promoted a show that we were playing out, just because, I mean, I would much rather play shows around here that are for friends and,
Yeah, well, basically the
fans.
last year, we went through a whole bunch of stuff. We basically re-recorded a ton of stuff on this album, including the song "Welcome to Boston" to get on the album, because, like I said, it replaced a song that was already recorded on the original version of the album. So we've spent the last 6 months or so re-recording, doing a whole bunch of stuff that we didn't anticipate doing, but is now thankfully all done. So the album is finally finished, and now we're starting to go through getting back into actually getting to do what we got into this to do.
So how long have you been working on this album?
This album has been 2 years.
2 years.
2 full years.
And how many tracks are you going to have?
It's going to be 12.
12 tracks. That's pretty decent size.
It's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of ups and downs, and some tracks making it, some tracks not. And it took a lot longer than we thought it was going to.
It usually does. I mean, especially when you're a creative person. I think we mentioned a couple of weeks ago on one of our shows that you always want to take another take, or like, I can do that better, and you're never really satisfied.
Oh, that's one of the weirdest things. You think that like you have a terrible track, then everyone else loves it, and you're like, well, what do I do now?
Yeah, I know.
But you don't maybe necessarily feel like it's quite right.
Oh, exactly.
Exactly right.
It must be so difficult as an artist, you writing your own music and then being narrowed down between what the label thinks and what you think is a good song to be put in the album. There must be a lot of going back and forth on that.
Well, I think as an artist, you're never satisfied with what you do.
That's basically the point.
Because you never sound like the person that you wanted to sound like. As an artist, you have these idols that are up on this pedestal that, to me, like, this singer sounds perfect, or this singer sounds perfect. And you go back, like, one of my biggest idols growing up was Robert Plant. And oh my God, he's off key left and right, but he is an amazing singer, and the stuff that he brings to the table and the character that he puts in there is amazing. Mick Jagger's another big one.
And then you read about what they thought about some of their albums, and then like, I can't believe this actually made it on print.
And you hold yourself to some standard of these guys being your heroes, and your stuff will never measure up. So you just have to eventually let it go.
And at some point in their careers, they were saying the same thing about somebody else.
Oh, I'm sure. And
that's the beauty of this business.
That really is how it goes. It's
exactly how it goes.
It's very much like generational.
Well, basically, at the end of the day, I think, well, I'm taller than all of them, so who cares what they think?
Is that how it goes? Okay, let's set this the song up. So it's you recorded it. About how many months ago did you record this?
So Welcome to Boston was recorded. Let's see. I guess it was about 6 months ago. It was the first song that we re-recorded when we started re-recording everything for this album, and it was almost one take all the way through. It was really on everybody's part.
Wow,
which is kind of.
So I guess you were definitely satisfied that day, weren't you?
Nice.
It was ready to go. So this is Welcome to Boston.
Welcome to Boston. Here it is from Crash Midnight.
is the place for the best new music on the planet. Performer Radio. All day, every day. All day, every day.
Welcome to Boston. That was pretty cool, definitely. So you got all this stuff coming up. You got the album coming out. When is the album supposed to be final, supposedly?
Tentatively, it's going to be a late February release. I'm going to guess, here's my prediction right now, it's going to be somewhere around March. But we all have separate bets on this.
It's always late.
Good things take time.
It's always
That's
they're
what we look
always
at.
late.
Good things take time. Actually, that's pretty good though. I mean, the March release, everyone's getting, winter's done, springtime. Let's get ready for summer. I mean, okay, you got 12 tracks. How many are up tempo? Do you have any ballads on there?
We have one ballad. We have one acoustic ballad. It's very roots, blues oriented. We threw a Hammond B3 in there. There's harmonica. We really tried to go like stripped down. I hate to do this, but kind of Rolling Stones style.
Okay.
It's a huge influence of mine.
Well, when you said that first, the first thing I thought it was extreme more than words.
Yeah, no, we do. Yeah, we love Extreme. Extreme actually came to, speaking of where we are right now, right down the street, there used to be a little bar called Revolution Rock Bar.
Yep.
Rev Rock.
Yes.
Yep.
I jumped through a window there once.
Yeah.
Classic.
Bo did that. We were involved in opening that bar. We were involved in opening that bar, and Gary Sharon was down there that night.
I know Gary very well. I worked with Gary back in the early 90s.
Oh, he might have evidence. I'm glad you know him.
We have to find his phone and erase his phone, most definitely. Whatever's on his phone. So you guys obviously love the nightlife, playing in a rock band and everything else like that. Is this what you expected to be doing when you were younger? I'm just curious.
No.
I'm not president yet.
I thought you wanted to be a fireman.
Vote for me.
No, seriously. I mean,
no, absolutely not. I think growing up, I was always into sports. I thought I was going to be, involved in sports in some capacity. I don't know where you were headed.
Honestly, I just always assumed I would be making art in some capacity for people. I just thought that's what I was good at, and turns out I was right.
When we were off mic, Amarie was talking about artists and how they were more than just creative in one area. So do you guys have any other passions that you're, creative passions that you love to do, like painting?
I thought she was flirting with us when she was saying that.
No, she wasn't flirting.
Honestly, there's a bunch of there's a bunch of other various video directions. I love cinematography. I love just getting people on camera that have no idea that they're on camera, and just the interaction between them, and especially in the city, their interaction with their surroundings. It fascinates me. And honestly, I feel like a lot of that really goes into the music we do.
I was going to ask that question.
Yeah.
How much does that influence your songwriting skills?
Oh, like you would not believe. I mean, it just the way that people Boston's very particular, a very unique city, and the way that that our fellow Bostonians interact with the city is really reflective in this album. I feel that way strongly.
This album is really all about everything that we went through. There's no songs on this album that we thought were just going to play to the widest audience or something. This album was written when we were living in a 2-bedroom apartment with 5, sometimes 6 guys crammed in there, and every single one of the songs has something to do with some crazy crap we got ourselves into during that. And to us, that makes it a very personal album. And I know a lot of people hear it, and there's some songs that it's like a party song, and it's this and that. But every single one of them is kind of like a little autobiographical thing of that night that went down.
And even the videos, they're very, I met them a few years back, and it was actually in a video shoot, and they're very hands-on. I can actually say that because I saw it. And you guys would look back and say, it better be this shot. And, you guys are very hands-on.
I got to look up that video now.
Yeah.
I
want to see what you look like.
Even the name Lost in the City is more derivative of some of the video or camera stuff that I've done just from being around here, and just really is the entirety of the album is enveloped in Boston, for lack of a better term.
I think the whole album was pretty much born and bred in Boston, and the music scene in Boston.
So Boston was your inspiration all around.
And I love it in their everything. You get to see it in their videos too. If you go on YouTube and look up Crashman and see their videos, once you see it, you kind of you know it's Boston, like the feel, like they do like the actual Boston, like the bars, what Boston is known for, the Irish pubs, the party, what like Bostonians are known for, which is really, really great.
Well, yeah, Boston's certainly known for partying.
Yeah.
We're still
No
sitting
doubt
on some
about that.
B-roll of some of those bar scenes too.
Yeah, they have some awesome bar scenes in their videos.
We'll have to go check the security cameras at Revolution Rock Bar.
Yeah.
See what's going on that
Well,
night.
in Arden, it's more like Hogan's Run than it is like, Faneuil Hall. So.
Yeah. So, okay, Boston. You guys were you guys raised here? as
Yeah.
well?
Yep.
Yeah, he and I
right
both
off.
grew
The, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that makes a lot of sense. So this is your home. This is your city. You love your city. Ever thought about going anywhere else? L.A., New York?
Absolutely LA for the weather, especially around this time of year.
Yeah. No kidding.
New York was probably our second home, honestly. We went down there. We used to play all down in the Bowery. We played at this place called the Continental that's now unfortunately turned into kind of more of a club instead of a live venue. But we went down there. Actually, there's a lot of really great stories when we went down.
I remember Uma Thurman yelling at us for getting in a fist fight.
Yeah, Bo, we got in some
These
argument
guys are
about.
typical rockers.
No, they have the best
old
stories.
school rock right here.
I won't
this.
talk to Sean for like months, and then we'll
I
randomly catch
feel
up,
like-
and it has amazing stories every
I
time.
feel like I can't tell half of them because
Yeah,
Sure you
there's-
can.
There's a lot of them that aren't going
We'd
to
be
quite
bleep,
make
bleep, 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 and that's all the whole entire show.
like anytime you hear me say, "Well, this one time at CBGB," just cut the mic, just cut it.
CBGB's another great venue.
I know.
Well, Connell was literally a Louie hawk.
Where was your
away
favorite?
from it?
That's okay. It was not a sexual one of those. So
All right,
Okay. Yeah.
awesome.
Where's your favorite venue to play? Anywhere.
So-
No, it doesn't matter. Boston, whatever. Anything.
You first.
All right. I'm going to say the Middle East because
Downstairs or upstairs?
Downstairs.
Downstairs. Okay.
Because the Middle East was integral in getting us signed. Nabil over there, and let's see who else. Clay. Those guys, when our label was looking for the next rock band that they wanted to sign, they went to the Middle East, and the Middle East came back with only one name for them, and it was us. And we didn't ask them to do that. That was completely just the Middle East supporting the Boston music scene. And we got a call, and they were just like, hey, we heard from you guys, or we heard about you guys from these guys in the Middle East, and we want to talk.
My answer is, and I don't want to give him credit for I don't even want to say the name. Bill's Bar, because they were such assholes. I remember playing an entire show, and half the people that wanted to be there couldn't even get in because their entire ticket policy was ridiculous. And I knew right when I got on stage, somebody told me that half the people that already paid to get in here can't get in. And I was so pissed off. What am I going to not play a show
That's your
for them?
least favorite place. What about your favorite place?
Honestly, it was
Ask him
the
where he
best
is
show.
right now.
Oh, it's the best show.
Yeah, he was-
Okay.
It was the
Yeah.
best show because of how pissed off
Okay,
I
I
was
should have
about
asked what
everything.
was your best show then, but I was talking about the venue that you liked, the venue itself, the play.
Oh, well,
Ask him what superpower
well, the
he'd like to have.
Comcast Center
See if he
because
says
they
time
find-
machine.
give me money.
The Comcast. You played at Comcast. You played it.
Do we have a Comcast Center anywhere? I really don't want to pay my bill this month.
Actually, that was a interesting show. We'd sold out that show. We had people outside that had bought tickets. And this is probably the only bad mouthing I'll do in Boston, but there were guys that were outside that had tickets. They couldn't get in because Bill's Bar had sold it to people that came at the door, even though they already had those pre-sale tickets
Was
sold.
there a mix-up in communication, or somebody
Yeah, it
must
was
have
not a
dropped the
mix-up
ball
in communication,
unfortunately.
unfortunately. Yeah, so it was one of those
That was
those
on
situations.
Lansdowne, right? Lansdowne, right?
Yeah,
Is it still there, Bill's Bar? I don't think it is it?
I think
I don't recall.
policies like that.
That's
drove
why I
it,
threw it out. It's not there.
Well, the Boston scene. I mean, it's still alive and kicking as far
Yeah,
as live
absolutely.
music is concerned. And it's one of the very few cities in the country where
Man.
live music is still very, very much predominant, which is good. You got the Brighton Music Hall, you got the Paradise Rock Club. There were actually a couple more back in the day, but newer places have been popping up.
Yeah, the Sinclair's popped
Right?
up.
Yeah, the Sinclair is great. I love
yeah.
that venue in Cambridge. Now, coming into 2014, where do you see yourselves maybe a year or two from now with the album release?
This is going to be, this is our big shot, I guess, right here. We've got we've got the album coming out. We've got a major tour that's in the works that unfortunately we can't really talk in detail about, but it's
I just finished up my Doomsday device.
There you go. Okay.
Big year for us.
Sounds good. Sounds
yeah.
good. Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming by to the Performer Radio Show. It was great hearing you. And Sean, you're going to be playing, or you're going to be singing at the Patriots game this Sunday.
Right. We've got I'm going to be performing the national anthem at the Patriots-Browns game December 8th, and we actually just got word today that I'm also going to be performing 4 days after that at Boston College's basketball team's ACC home opener.
That's
nice.
awesome. That's awesome.
Against Maryland, yeah.
Very good. Well, gentlemen, thanks for coming by. Amarie, again, we've had another great week here. We're going to be at the Boston Music Awards on Sunday, so people, don't forget to check that out. And don't forget to check us out next week. We got designer Mark Miller here. He's going to talk to us all about how much he loves winter, and he's going to show us maybe a couple of interesting designs, too. So next week, we'll see you then.
Until next week, bye.
Bye.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. The only thing I didn't learn in school today is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
Vanessa Williams has one of the best voices in modern music. Did you ever wonder what got her hooked on music when she was growing up?
My fondest memory of music in school would have to be playing French horn in the high school orchestra. Under the direction of Mr. Angelo Marasco, we got a chance to travel all over the world. We went to Caracas, Venezuela, Miami, Florida, Nassau, Bahamas, and Seekonk, Massachusetts.
Music is like team sport, says Williams. Kids are in it together.
Music is good for kids because it teaches you a craft. It demands perfection. It forces you to excel. And it also allows you to be a part of something beautiful that makes wonderful music that transcends all kind of boundaries.
A PSA brought to you by MENC, the National Association for Music Education, Gibson Guitar, Baldwin Piano, and this station. Music, part of a sound education.
The Internet's #1 destination for new music. Performer Radio is in the house.
Performer Radio is in the house.